Hello everybody, so today we are going to be doing my Storm Shield Events 9 in Twine Peaks, and I've done 1 through 8 successfully, a couple of bumpy roads, but I haven't failed any of them yet, so crossing fingers. I did fail 10, I'll be uploading that video later, but so we're going to get started here in just a minute. My tech score is actually pretty low, unfortunately, so that's why I've got 2 friends helping me here. They're not necessarily going to be helping per se, because I've got trap tunnels for all the storm shield, or all the amplifiers. But, you know, they're going to be there in case the husks get to the end, get to the amplifier. So should be good here. Should be pretty simple. Shouldn't have any issues. The husks are going to be 132, so that's going to be fun. And I think we're going to go ahead and get started here. So one of my friends is actually kind of low, but he's getting up there pretty quick. He's only been playing a couple months, so I think he's around 62 or something like that. So I'm boosting him just from all mine. This trap tunnel on this side for the home base, almost no husks ever get to the top. If they do, it's always going to be a smasher, and for the most part the smashers still usually die. He'll be back here in a second. He's just going to switch to, I think, a constructor. So yeah, as you can see, I've watched David Dean's video, watched it once, and kind of did a similar build. It's not 100% the same, but I do have gas traps above their spawn points, so that's why they take all that damage in the beginning. As you can see, I've got a freeze trap there in the front in case they do make it all the way there. And then on my left side, I've got a whole bunch of timeout rooms. I think I've got 3 coming up, so they take plenty of damage. Yeah, pretty simple. This is a very basic trap tunnel for the home base on this side. That's going to be on the, I think that's on the east side, yeah. Or the north. Not 100% sure, I think that's the east, yeah. Sorry, I can't see because the video for me right now is minimized, so I'm just doing a recording of the voice recording of the video since I've already finished this. I'll give you a spoiler alert, I will be successful on this run. So sadly I can't give you any like twists or turns that I didn't finish. I will let you know I did have a failed attempt for 10. I did succeed the second time, but I will definitely go ahead and upload a video of the failed attempt for 10. I actually failed on the 5th wave, unfortunately, but you know what happens. Excuse me. So let's go ahead and take a look here. We are almost done. We have less than 100 left. We've got about 7, no, less than that even. We've got 50-ish left. So let's go ahead, and I think they're going to come from the west behind me in a second, so we're just going to turn and run the other way. Got my friend there, he's just chilling. The other higher level friend, the one that's just above me, I think, is just chilling too. Yep, it's going to be coming from A. Now this trap tunnel is very interesting. I've noticed a lot of people tend to vary on the build over here. I actually did a friend's build that was actually a lot better of a setup, but mine's decent. I probably should put this out farther, but we'll just put it here for now. Excuse me. So, make sure my setup is right. I always do bundle bus when I'm doing a storm shield defense, because the only ones that get to the end are going to be the smashers, and the smashers, they have a lot of health, so the fastest way to kill them is going to be the bundle bus for me. I know I could shoot them with, let's see, it's not incinerator, think. There's the neon sniper. But, man, that's gonna drive me crazy not remembering the name. Anyways, so bundle bus, I'm gonna go ahead and just keep using that. And for the most part, as you can see, I've got some out there just past the lava bombs and the lava when it spurts up. I've got a little trap tunnel there, just a little 2x1, kind of self-explanatory. There's 2 tiles left and right, and then 1 tile forward and back. So for this, what I have as a setup, when they walk up on both sides, there are wall zappers, and on the ground there are retractable floor spikes. So above them is going to be the gas trap. So when they get to that final end, they're going to get stunned, or at least they're going to take some type of knockback or added knock back from those wall zappers. And then above it is the ceiling zapper. And then behind it, behind that slant, is wall lights. So they're getting a lot of potential knockback, or at least the knockback building resistance for it. I don't even know what I'm saying. You probably don't even understand what I'm saying either. But let's go ahead and get to the smashers here. Pretty annoying. Just go ahead and kill them. I kill a lot of smashers on this wave. Yeah, they're all 132. They're definitely above me, so it is definitely a challenge. It's a lot of fun though, because who doesn't like beating husks that are bigger than you? I usually run heavy base. On my Storm Shield Defense 10, I actually decided to change it up because I needed to do more damage and I needed more durability on the traps on the base that I had laid down. So, oh, how'd this guy get over here? And he's not smashing no more. I think he's the only guy that's gonna get past me on this. And yes, I'm not the fastest builder. I will never claim to be the fastest builder. I'm not bad, I'm just not great. I really wish that they'd give respective rewards based off of the area that you were in. Like in Twine Peaks, it still drops the rusted mechanical parts that you get from Stonewood, which is silly. All the Storm Shield defenses do. Get this friend of mine up. Get dropped. Word of advice, people, if you are down and you're trying to get somebody to revive you, stay in one place as soon as you get in front of them. Don't try to walk around them. It kind of makes it hard for your buddy to revive you if he's walking away. But I'm sure I've done that once or twice too. Let's see what else. Oh. At the beginning of these walkways, so if you notice, I let them walk naturally up it. I don't like placing ramps and stuff because smashers and the riot husks like to beat through the floors or beat through the ramps, no matter what type of ramp I put up, whether it's a regular slant ramp or stair ramp. Either way, excuse me, they're not very accommodating to me, so I just let them walk the way they want. I'll put stuff above them and to the side of them, like ceiling zapper, mostly gas traps usually, and then wall zappers. The dynamos, that's what they're called, wall dynamos. So, and then I alternate between the retractable floor spikes and just the regular floor spikes. Excuse me. Wow. My voice today. So, one thing to note. Another thing I don't put down, I won't show you just right now, but one thing you want to know is when they're coming up to the ground and you want to put a floor down to put a trap, you want to make sure that you don't put one right at the edge so it hangs over, because when they come up to it, they can't actually go up the natural walkway of the ground that they're trying to go up. And so what they'll do is they'll run into that actual floor that you've placed down instead of going up the natural walkway, and then they will try to beat through it. And if it's a propane wave, or if it's a propane guy on just a normal mission, then he will blow it up, and if it's anywhere in your tunnel, or in the beginning of the tunnel, or whatever, it's going to damage your trap, or your walls. And you don't want that. You definitely want to keep them up as long as possible, until the traps go out, and in which case then you replace the traps. Yeah, propanes are your natural enemy. You kind of just want to, when you build your traps, you want to design where you're putting your floors based off of the natural flow. That's the biggest thing that I've noticed people mess up on. You can manipulate husks safely 2 tiles out from the objective. You can do it up to 3 technically, but safely you want to do 2. You never want to do more than 2. If you do more than 2, you're really asking for a smasher or something else to beat through your wall, and you don't want that to happen. So I, on the other hand, how I do it, all my building, is give my friend here the bundle bus so he can do a little bit more damage. And I actually upgraded after my SSD9, I upgraded my gas traps to do to 130, so they're definitely doing way more damage. I don't have anything that gets to me, except for maybe 2 flingers. The flingers, they're obviously taking reduced damage with all my traps, unless they're not doing melee damage, so yeah. So anyways, what I do is I try to do the most natural pathing for a husk to go. So if you can see with mine, I didn't do, with this one you can't, with this amplifier. They basically are coming down a tunnel. The only way you can direct them in any direction is putting little quarter walls. I don't know exactly. They're little 2 quarters of a tile. Yeah, I don't know the math on it, but there's little pieces of walls there on the ground. You can see that they're going straight down the path. So anyways, that's the only way you get them weaving, with little walls that you place on the ground. And it's pretty effective. As you can see, my gas traps are just eating them up, so no big issues there. Behind me, you've got the wall darts, so those can detect up to 3 tiles, which is exactly where they're detecting them, at the freeze. That's the 3rd tile. And they can shoot up to 5 tiles. I've heard people say 6, but that's clearly not the case. I actually watched a video with Sly Gumby, and he debunked that. It can only go up to 5. It'll shoot out to 5, and they'll take damage up to 5. Anything past that, and the wall dart will basically just despawn. So, anyways, the way I do all my traps here, I don't know if I've ever explained it in any of my other storm shields. Actually, I think this is the first time I'm actually recording and showing a storm shield defense. But let me avoid this lava bomb. How I do all of my traps is anytime I have a wall launcher, man, that shoots you up really high, holy cow. Anytime I do a wall launcher, I always put floor spikes on the ground, so it slows them down, so when they're getting to that, put my base down. Anytime that they get to the wall launcher, they're being slowed down so that it can launch them. Just a pretty basic understanding, but it's pretty basic strategy for anyone that's doing trap tunnels. So it's always something good to remember. And I'll show you here in a minute, but when I am setting up the wall launchers, always on the opposite but adjacent wall, I will put wall lights, almost always. Sometimes I'll put wall dynamos, but for the most part, I almost always put wall lights because my wall lights do more stun knockback than the dynamos. Dynamos do damage, but for the most part, my gas traps are doing the majority of the damage, and when I'm doing the damage to them, I'm not as worried about doing that extra damage with a dynamo as I am trying to stun them and knock them back so the gas trap will continue to do damage longer and longer. So, plus that helps knock them back farther with the wall launcher when it hits them. So, all in all, I find that to be the most effective compared to dynamos. That's my personal not belief, but that's my personal take on it. You know, you can do whatever you choose to, but that's how I choose to do it. So, yeah, we've got a bit of time here. This is a really long storm shield defense, so my apologies that it takes so long, and of course he's going to try and beat through the wall, so let me go ahead and go down there and repair once I kill him. So, yeah, let's go down. Okay. And, oh, there is another smasher. Let's shoot him with bundle bus. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to get through the wall. Dirty little rat. Alright, there we go. Let's put up the wall. And of course, stringy twine. Wish they didn't give that out to all those crappy rewards. They would upgrade that. Anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Oh well. Let's go ahead and upgrade the wall. Smashers are always the annoying ones. They get up this far. Some of these gas traps are 106 because I didn't beat the ceiling wall down. I just left it. I don't like wasting traps because I don't like wasting materials, so unless it's used up halfway, I don't usually destroy the trap or destroy the wall to take down the trap. Looks like they used up all those uses for those launchers. My launchers are 106, so they're doing an okay damage. This one, a couple of these, actually, if you notice, I did put up dynamos, and I think the reason why I did that is because I stunned them in the beginning, and then when they're getting closer to the base, I wanted to do more damage. Which is ironic, I was just telling you that I like to put up wall lights, but as they're getting closer and closer, I kind of wanted to do more damage. Again, this is just my thought process, always changes between these two. Wow. All the dynos on those are gone. Let's go ahead and put those up, build some more. And I hate swapping between traps in game. They're shot at. Excuse me, I don't know why I'm yawning. There's not an easy way to switch between traps. And actually, just realized that this wave is not the best for all these traps. The type of damage they do, their nature. So they're not doing as much. They're reduced damage. And it looks like they're getting farther and farther. Let me put wall lights there. Oh goodness, let me go by. Jerks. Smashers. Die. Okay. I think I'm safe to go back here. Yeah, they put some more wall lights there. And they're getting farther and farther, which means that some of my traps are going away, disappearing. Goodness gracious, smashers. Jerks. Let me go. Let me go through. You're so fat. You need to lose some weight. yeah, as you can see, I use my bundle bus a lot on the Smashers just because they're doing more damage than anything else I have. Oh goodness. Or it does the most damage, I feel like. I could be wrong, there could be other things, but that's just my personal preference that I feel. Alright, I think, yeah, they're getting farther and farther here. The normal husks even. Pretty sure I lost some of the derp, some of the other traps used up all their uses. So, yeah, it looks like there's a ceiling gas trap that needs to be replaced, and then there is a wall launcher there that's gone. Let's go ahead and replace that. I think I missed another one there. I just kind of ignored it because I was about to get hit and I died. So, yeah. I'm just going to crawl back to the entrance and my friend will go ahead and revive me. I could revive myself, but I want to save that one revive just in case I need it later. We're only on wave 2 right now, so luckily the Smashers aren't getting very far. I'm not pulling a David Dean where he's not shooting. I like to shoot just because I don't like to get crazy worried there at the end. And they're running around and destroying all my walls around my amplifier. That's just me. Alright, gotta get ready to go to the next place. It's probably going to be the east again from here. Surprised I didn't have any tankers this run. I'm probably thinking it's coming from over here, but it's not. Nope, behind me, yep. There we go. So this is gonna be, this is D, yeah, this is D. So my setup on this one is just a little different than a lot of people. What I did is, when they're trying to round this corner just below me, what I set up was a floor launcher, so it launches them up in the air. A gas trap hits them when they're up in the air. I found it's effective at 100% will activate and hit them, the husk, while they're in the air from the slant. So the slant goes up to just a ceiling wall, and the ceiling wall has a gas trap, and when the husk gets up to that wall ceiling gas trap, it will activate. They take affliction damage and they start their ticks. And so not only are they getting launched back, but they're also activating the gas trap, so they take damage. So it's very effective. I can't do that with everything, but on at least that part when they're rounding the corner, it's a good way to do damage while knocking them back. I could excuse me. I could just do a wall launcher instead of a floor launcher, but I feel like they actually get knocked back farther when I do a floor launcher to a slant 2 tiles up. So, anyways. And of course, it looks like we've got flingers in this round, and they are very annoying, so most likely what I'm going to just go ahead and do here in a second is, yeah, there's the good old sniper buddy. I forget the name of that one. Man, it is really laggy. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna put a whole bunch of ceilings, ceiling walls, so that the flingers can't get a good angle on me and throw anything, any husks at the amplifier, aka me. Got 800 to go. Let's see. As you can see, my build is a little similar to David Dean's if you watch any of his videos. If you don't or haven't, I definitely recommend it. He has excellent, I don't know if you'd call it taste, but he has excellent insight as to the builds that you can do. And I've even got hiccups now. Goodness gracious. Stupid flingers. Let's go ahead and put more. I'm just going to put a whole bunch out. That way they can't get any good angle. Look, he's still trying to get an angle. So let's go ahead and block his. Now he's going to keep trying to run out so he can get an angle, of course. Now this is normally where one of the lava bombs drops, but luckily it didn't go off. It usually triggers by me or a husk, and since neither of us are around where that bomb is, and every couple minutes when it's supposed to activate, it will not activate, and therefore they won't try and get an angle on me. Of course, the flingers are still going to try and find an angle on me no matter what I do, but it'll just make it a little bit more difficult for them. I don't care to do damage up here, just like launching them off the cliff. It's actually kind of funny to watch them go. But down below, if you can see, there are some walls, some ceiling walls there. Oh, he did try and get an angle on me and threw something. But yeah, there are gas traps down there that I set up. And I'll just go hit him and force him to walk the long walk of shame all the way around the cliff and back up. So, it'll keep those flingers busy for now. Goodness gracious, can't get a break. Oh, he kept asking for permissions because I guess a husk got through and I completely opened up a wall on accident earlier and didn't fix it, so he was going to go ahead and fix that for me. Thank you, good sir. Man, you should have seen me on Storm Shield Defense 6. It was super difficult. They just kept beating on the entrance to the wall just next to Amplifier, just up there. It was scary. I just kept building it, auto build. Every time they destroy it, I'd rebuild it back up super quick. We were just spamming it. Got lucky that happened around a minute and a half left, I think I remember correctly, and so just kept spamming it until finally time ran out and they died, or they lost. I won. If you're wondering why I have the neon sniper out as my second weapon, it's because I can see through walls, or anything really for that matter, and so that way I can determine when I'm looking at the trap tunnels at the beginning of each wave what type of husks they are, if they're flingers, if they're smashers, if there's propane in the wave, and that way I can know either not to shoot or to shoot, or, you know, just how to be careful. They're still getting angles on me. Super annoying. Just killed one. I think that's gonna fix it. Puts that there, I'm not 100% sure. And I bet, I think in a second, oh, we got another angle. And let's shoot it down. Alright, we've got just over 200 left. Alrighty. Man, those flingers. I don't know which is worse, flingers or smashers. Because I don't like husks throwing other husks at me and me having to worry about a whole bunch of shooters hitting me all, especially flame shooters, that or nature, because man, that damage over time tick is really annoying from the shooters, the ones that do the little pistol shot from their fingers. I forget the name of them. It's probably one thing you've noticed if you've watched any of my videos. I tend to forget a lot of things while I'm in the video, or at least while I'm recording. A voiceover of the video that I've done. Sometimes I do a voiceover, sometimes I do direct record, but yep, so if I was smart, and I know I'm not at this moment, I would totally build some ceilings there so that they couldn't shoot me or get an angle, but of course I'm not. And of course this tanker is going to hit me, and I'm going to go down. Oh, never mind, I got lucky. I need to put up some turrets, because man, all those guys are annoying, and I'm probably going to go down any second. Oh, and there I go. Well, we've only got 17 left, 11, 7, 5, and this is where I'm just going to decide to use my life. Alright, so, is this E? I think this is E. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's annoying. Alright, do that, and I saw those tentacles. I didn't have anything above that spawn. Oh well. So if you're wondering why I have a bunch of wood, I took the David Dean approach on this one, and actually my little setup for how they're coming down is a little unique too. It's kind of weird. If you notice, I have a whole bunch of staircases up the side there. Basically what it is if I need to get up there in a pinch, I can just hop up, kind of bunny hop all the way up, and that's pretty easy to get up the cliff. So, I don't know, that was just my own unique take that I did on it. And then, yeah, so I did a take from David Dean, their wood, so in case the smashers beat through this slant here, which knocks them back with the floor launcher, if they somehow get past it and they charge, they will charge all the way down into the lava. But I don't have to worry about that, because all my traps are pretty darn good. They will die before they even beat through this slant. And this is the last wave, but I think I have just a little bit over 1,000 left, so it's gonna be a long run on here. Goodness gracious, man. So many smashers getting all the way down here. Also, another side note, for those when you're building wall slants outside of an objective, whether it's an amplifier, whether it's during a mission, and, you know, because you build those slants for the smashers so that they don't charge. They go up to it and try to beat through it first. Get rid of this husk over here. And even the husky has to take a lot to kill. They take a lot of damage. So, when you're building the slants, what you want to do is you want to have your regular slants, like your, you know, you've got your little roof, point type. I think it's your F4. You want your F4 type of slant, because instead of doing stairs, what happens is if for some reason you put your F4 slant up and a smasher's there, for example, and it pushes him on top of the slant, instead of him staying on top of the slant and trying to beat through it again, or beating through the wall in front of him, it will trigger him to actually move off of the slant and go back around to try and beat back through it from the direction he was going originally. So, it's actually better than stair slants. So just an FYI, if you notice why people are doing that, that's the reason why, and that's what you should be trying to do every time. Sometimes people I know will say that they're a little slow, and so they have a hard time doing that. So quick on a fly, but I always have it just automatically edited to a slant like that. Goodness gracious, I think there's 700 and something left. So many. Actually, ironically enough, on the last wave, them being water is the best situation I could have asked for, because of the fact that since they're water husks and a lot of the traps are nature, I'm doing increased damage on them. So, we are almost halfway. We started at 1200, and he went down really fast. Wow. If you notice on this part, what happens is they get knocked back to that other wall launcher, and then it sends them back into the small timeout room. Now, if you're asking the reason why they don't just beat through the wall and come straight forward when they get knocked back in that small timeout room on my right, go out of here in a second and look to kill this guy first. Now I'm going to look to the left. You see those stairs right there that go up? That actually is in front of the wall, and so therefore they want the path of least resistance, so they don't want to beat through that, so they come back around and go back to the floor launcher and then get knocked back to right where he is, and that knocked him forward instead of to the back. So, all in all, things are going pretty good. I think I have 400 and something left. Still got a ways to go. Looks like the traps are still lasting pretty good, which is good. Even though still got a bit to go. Put this ceiling back up there. Oh no, I trapped myself in. Let me out! Let me out! Okay, there we go. I don't know if I put that slant there, or stairs, or not. I know it seems like I'm shooting a lot, but in reality I'm not. All I'm shooting at is smashers. All the little guys are taken out before they get down here. So yay! Pretty easy. Let's see, we've got... I don't know, I can't read that. I think it's 300 and something. Whew. Man, taking forever. Smashers die. Oh yeah, my wall lights. Oh yeah, and I put the wall lights behind any slant I do. I know I just made a big stink about doing normal slants instead of stairs, but I didn't put that one up originally. So, and the reason why I put the wall lights behind the slant is because the wall lights will trigger behind any type of slant. No matter what, they will be able to hit their target if they're triggered. So, just an FYI with that. Same thing with ceiling zappers. They will trigger through slants and hit their target as well. Oh, took down the friend. Go ahead and revive him. And during this update, they had already nerfed the decoy, so out of habit, I still kept spamming it anytime the smashers were around, but it was kind of pointless at this point. Oh, less than 100. Sweet. Almost done. I know it's been a long video. It's been a long storm shield defense. If you think this is long, you just wait until we have storm shield defense 10. It is greatly. 15 left, it looks like. Almost there, home stretch. Hurry, hurry, get done. This is so long. Oh, it's done. Congrats. So, I think I only used 2 weapons, maybe a third. So, I guess I didn't use all 3 of my weapons during that. But that's besides the point. So as you can see, that's a lot of score. But still done pretty good for Storm Shield Defense 9 with pretty low tech score nonetheless. And yay, we got a level 6 chest on that, so pretty good rewards here. Oh yeah, he was Hazard the 13th. That was the other friend of mine that's just above me on that mission. When he left at the beginning of it, that was the hero that he went back to get. So, level 6 chest. So we've got 7 llamas, 42k hero, got 100 V-Bucks, 3 skill points, yada yada. Anyway, so that's going to be it for the video, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.